Hey Sunflowers, I'm Lynnie with Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and I'm here with the message for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements. This is just going to be a general message, so whatever I see is what I'm going to read. This will be an intuitive tarot reading and channeled message. I see you as someone who is looking for their life partner. You are looking for someone who is committed to you, who is loyal, and who is ready to set a solid foundation to either build a family on or complete a family. You're looking for your life partner, and it looks to me like you thought you found it. You thought you found your counterpart. You thought you found your soulmate. You thought you found the person that you were going to spend the rest of your life with. And unfortunately, it looks like some sort of truth bomb was dropped on you, or somehow some information was revealed to you that this person has already committed themselves and their life to someone else. This person was already or is currently in a marriage or life partnership with someone, and you had no idea about it. I think Spirit has led you to this revelation because they wanted you to disconnect yourself from this person as soon as possible. This person seems like they might have a silver tongue, right? They're really good with their words. They're really good at charming people. They're great at convincing people of whatever it is that they want to believe. So I don't want you to ever feel like you should be ashamed or you should feel bad for believing what this person was telling you. I think you're an honest and loyal and trustworthy person, and you expect other people to operate the same way. But unfortunately, the worst of us are attracted to the best of us because the best of us are the easiest to manipulate. We're the easiest to deceive, and we're the easiest to get over on because we see with our hearts, and we want to believe in people, and we want to believe that when someone says something, that they mean it, that they're going to follow through, and that they are who they say they are. And it's unfortunate that there are people in this world who take advantage of the kind-hearted, big-hearted, loving, and somewhat naive people in this world. But it is what it is. I don't want you to feel like you can't trust love or believe in love simply because this person got over on you and took advantage of you. Because I do feel like your love is out there. The love that is for you is out there. And you never asked for this person to come into your space, but I think that Spirit is helping you through relationships like this to develop your discernment, to see behind the words, to see behind the illusion that people are setting up for you. Like I said, you might be a very trusting person and potentially even somewhat naive just because you just want to believe in people. You want to see the best in everyone. And this is the issue with kind of this toxic positivity or always wanting to be optimistic, even in situations where you feel like something is off, is because in denying your intuitive sense that you may not be able to trust this person, or there may be things going on behind the scenes that this person is not explaining to you or being upfront and honest about, right? We're convincing ourselves like, oh no, they're good. No, everything is fine. I'm just afraid, right? And although you can self-sabotage due to fear, that is something that is totally possible in romantic relationships. I think that there's a distinct difference between getting an intuitive nudge and having an irrational thought or entertaining an irrational fear. That is the discernment that you'll be developing through these kinds of connections and through these kinds of relationships. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I don't want to keep having to learn the hard way. Well, then you have to learn. That's the thing. And hopefully I'm not coming across as too harsh. Sometimes my messages are very gentle and soft and coddly. And sometimes my messages are like in your face, telling you the truth, no sugarcoating anything. And this is one of those messages. Because Spirit wants you to open your eyes. You have the ability to feel when things are off. You have a strong intuitive sense. And it's almost like you're just not using it because you just want to believe so bad that this person just was the one and they were going to come in and they were going to save you from your life and elevate you and do all of the things that they promised that they were going to do. And unfortunately, this person isn't even doing it for the person that they promised they would do it for legally, right? Or however they committed themselves to this person, because it does look like this person is married, right? Or in a life partnership. they're not even doing it for that person. They damn sure can't do it for you. And I know that you're probably not as emotionally invested or attached to this person as you may have thought you once were. I think you are also responsible for somewhat selling yourself this dream. This person comes across as someone who is willing to say whatever it takes to get the result that they want. They're not above using manipulation or deception or just telling outright lies to keep you in place, to hold you where they need you so that they can play their little games. And Spirit has called them out or called certain things to your attention several times, right? The biggest revelation of them having a life partner or a spouse or whatever the case may be is not the first thing that you felt like was off with this person. There have been things that have even led you to this revelation that could have been enough for most people to say, nope, I'm not talking to this person anymore. I'm going to wash my hands. But instead of disconnecting yourself from this person and disconnecting from the illusion and the fantasy, you wanted to believe in it because you wanted it to be true. And that's really what a lot of people who are deceptive in this way are capitalizing on. They're selling you the fantasy because they know that if you believe in the fantasy, then your mind will create whatever story it needs to create in order for the fantasy to become reality. Until something so bold happens as you find out that this person has a whole other person, right? And you can't ignore that. And hopefully you're not thinking like, well, maybe we can still work it out, because this person has no intention of being honest with you or no intention of being real with you. Nobody who really loves you and cares about you would ever hide something like this. Nobody who really wants to be your life partner, who ever really wants to love you for you is ever going to use tricks and schemes and deception to get on your good side and to stay on your good side. The person that you want to be in partnership with is somebody who is just as honest and loyal and dedicated as you are, right? I don't think you want to be with somebody who's deceptive and manipulative, but it seems like you maybe have a type, or you tend to attract these types once again because you like to believe in the fantasy. Or maybe you like to believe that you can change people. Maybe you want to believe that your love is incredibly powerful enough to completely change the whole character of someone. And your love is powerful. Your love is amazing. And the power of love itself is life-changing and can change people, but not in the way that we want it to. I think that there is this concept of wanting to control things. And if you kind of have an idea about how someone is or how they operate, then maybe you can control it in a way or manipulate it in a way to where you can make it work for you, right? So there's also this element of you kind of playing this little game yourself. So maybe you felt like things were off or weird with this person, but maybe you thought that you could use it to your advantage in a way, because I don't necessarily see this as some great loss. I don't see you being devastated that this didn't work out. I don't see you being completely, shaken to the core. I just feel like there's a part of you that always understood that you can't be too emotionally invested in this person because they're not upfront and honest with you about who they are and what they want from you, right? And honestly, it does kind of look like maybe it was a strong sexual connection that you had between the two of you, and maybe that's not common for you. So maybe you thought that that might lend itself to love later on down the line, or maybe you thought that that was sort of a sign that this person was meant for you because you do have a strong sexual connection with this person. For those of you who were sexually connected to this person, but for them, it was just sex. They were willing to say and do whatever it took in order for them to continue having sexual access to you. And you're not the only one. There are other people that they're playing this game with. And it's not your mission to go and expose this person or to, blow up, other people's inbox and coming to them as a man or a woman and, hey, this is what you need to know about this person, because anything that's done in the dark will come to the light, period, right? So it's not your job to go on this crusade and make sure that this person is stopped, because they're going to stop when they want to stop. And there's always going to be, I hate to say it like this because I'm not trying to call you a fool, but there's always a new fool, right? And when you think about it in the sense of being like a con man or being someone who takes advantage of people for their own personal needs, there's always a sucker around the corner. You can always find somebody else to deceive, to lie to manipulate. So there's no end game. There's always going to be an endless supply of people who are desperate enough for the fantasy for this person to manipulate or get over on. That's just the way that it is. And it's an unfortunate reality, but it is the reality. So understanding that, first of all, you're not the only one that they've done this to, and you're probably not the only one that they're currently doing this to, right? Having an affair with outside of their partnership. You're not the only person that they've told, we're going to have a family, we're going to get married, we're going to do all of these things, we're going to be together forever, right? They might have even come to you on some love at first sight type stuff, like, oh, I just fell in love with you as soon as I saw you, and that kind of love bombing kind of energy, that kind of narcissistic energy, right? I'm just going to completely bombard you with this because I can tell by the way that you carry yourself that maybe this is something that you've wanted for a long time, or the way that you speak or how you talk to me or how you interact with me tells me that you are, super interested in having this kind of life partnership. They'll even reflect your words back to you, right? So they might ask you, what are you looking for in a partner? And you might say, well, yeah, I want somebody I can just watch movies with, and we can just go to the beach and, all that kind of stuff. And they're like, oh my God, I love watching movies with my person, and the beach is my favorite place, and I can't wait to take a walk. This kind of stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not hard to mirror someone's energy. It's not hard to repeat back to someone what they're looking for in order to sell them the fantasy. And they sold you, but you kind of knew that this is how this person was anyway, and potentially even thought that maybe you could change them in some capacity. I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, you're choosing to walk away. You're choosing to empower yourself by disconnecting yourself from this person. And I say, that's great. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you need. Focus on building yourself up and empowering yourself and raising your self-esteem and enhancing your discernment. So when these little silver-tongued snakes come rustling through the grass again, you'll be able to see them before they even open their mouths. This is what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll be with you next time.